What's up guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the beautiful island of Sumba. We're going to be doing some exploring here over the next few days. I'm excited to show you guys this island, and I'm also excited to talk a little bit about the capabilities of the Sony A7IV. This is the camera I'm filming on now, and I want to see, how good of a hybrid camera this camera actually is. Can it shoot good photos? Can it shoot good videos? We're going to find out in this video. I'm going to put it through its test. It's the only camera I brought on this trip, so we'll see how it turns out. But I hope you guys enjoy the vlog. I'm gonna show you guys our hotel and then we'll get on with this trip. What do you think of this place, man?
Somewhere you would just definitely go to escape everything, so
yeah.
This
I was
is
just
the spot.
thinking that.
Yeah, definitely a private island vibe.
100%.
This is actually sick.
Sick, right?
So nice and chill, the waves. And it's warm, like it's not too hot though.
No.
It's a good temp and the wind is breezing.
It is all whip. Hey.
No, we don't run, no. We're gonna ride this wave until it breaks. We're gonna drive all day.
That was something else, man. Just coming in here to this resort. It's not done yet, but this place is gonna be insane.
It's gonna be magical. Oh.
Yeah. So we just got to this beach. I don't know exactly where it is. Mike just challenged Keenan to a foot race on the beach, a sprint race on the beach. And I think I got my money on Mike because Mike actually beat me in a swim race back up in northern Bali on Med last year.
You're gonna lose your money, mate.
Bro, you think so? Who do you got? Do you got Mike or Keenan?
Well, I'm in it, mate.
Oh, you're running too?
Yeah.
I'm not fucking running, so I'll watch you guys. I'll be on the finish line. 1, go! No way!
No, someone thinks I've cheated.
In the start, I was like...
So the horses just got here, and these two fine gentlemen behind me are going to ride the horses along the beach, and we're gonna shoot them doing that. So I think for this little segment, I'm gonna shoot some video, and then later on, once they're more stagnant, we'll do some stills, take some photos, and put the camera through its paces doing that. But it's gonna be really cool to see these horses on the beach. It's a really nice subject because this beach is so big and so barren that, it'd be really nice to have a subject along the beach, and a person on a horse. I don't think you can get much better than that. That was an absolute creative session. That was so much fun. And it was really fun shooting with this camera, but I can say straight off the bat, shooting photos and videos in a high-paced environment is incredibly difficult, even if you do have a camera that's more than capable of doing it. I got some decent clips, I think, but I think I got some really amazing photos, and I think I'm more excited about the photos. But now, the sun is set behind the ridge, so we're just gonna be hanging out here, enjoying the rest of the sunset, maybe getting in the water, who knows. This is what I love about traveling. This is why we do it, is to fall into these creative moments where you just forget everything else and you're just trying to capture the perfect shot. And it's such a good feeling. So I hope you guys enjoyed some of the stuff you've seen here. We're gonna hang out, head back to the hotel, wind down the night, but I'll see you guys again soon. Welcome back to the hotel, guys, and welcome to day 2 out here in Sumba. And it is a lazy one. We're just hanging out here at the hotel today. We figured in a place like this, let's just chill out, have a nice relaxing day. So that's what we're doing. But I figured this would be a great opportunity to tell you guys how I set up my Sony A7IV for hybrid shooting. And I think it's pretty straightforward. I use this camera for 3 different things: for vlogging, for photos, and for cinematic video. So I have this camera set up to do all of those things, and I'm gonna walk you through it right now. So the way the A7IV is set up is new to me, coming from the A7 III and the A7S III. Essentially, you have your main dial on top with the 1, 2, and 3 save mode, where you can save different video profiles and things like that. But then on the bottom, under that, you can flip this little switch and switch it between photo mode, video mode, and S&Q mode. Now, this is a really cool feature because essentially what this means is you can save 3 different photo modes and 3 different video modes, so you can have a ton of custom settings on this camera. Now for photography, it's pretty straightforward for me. I just shoot in manual mode, or if I'm gonna be shooting in aperture or shutter priority, I'll just flick to those switches. But for video, it's a little bit more complicated because there's a lot more settings involved. So for general vlog footage, I shoot in S-Cinetone. And for that, I actually don't have a saved profile for that because I'm usually just vlogging in 24p, S-Cinetone, and shutter priority. So what I'll do is I'll just flick to shutter priority, flick to video mode, and it's pretty much good to go. And then for cinematic video, I shoot in S-Log3. And for that, I make sure I'm flicked to video mode, and then I have the 3 custom dials programmed to 24p, 30p, and 60p. So I can just easily switch between those modes and film more cinematic footage if I'm wanting to do something like a cinematic sequence. The biggest challenge with using this camera so far for me has just been this new dial on the bottom where you can switch between photo, video, and S&Q mode, because I haven't had that in the past. Usually I just do everything based on the dial, and it seems to be a bit simpler. And this just adds a level of complexity, albeit I think a good level of complexity. It's just gonna take a little bit of time to get used to, but it is different and it can be a bit complicated when you're in a fast-paced environment. Like when we were shooting those horses earlier, there was things moving and everything was a bit hectic, so it's hard to switch back and forth, make sure your exposure is good when you're shooting in S-Log, and then flipping back into photos, readjusting your settings. There's just a lot happening and it's hard to be just on it in those situations. But I think the more you use this camera and the more you get a hang of it, it's going to suit all of your hybrid camera needs, because that 33 megapixels is amazing and the S-Log3 looks great. It looks just as good as the S-Log3 on my A7IV and all of that. I just wanted to talk a little bit about how I set up the camera. If you guys are interested in learning more about the color profiles that I use and how I grade my footage, let me know in the comments down below. I'm happy to make a video on that. So we're gonna get on with the day, guys, and we'll catch you again soon. So this is actually hilarious. One thing you need to know about Mike is he loves a good competition. He's always the one that's like, yo, you guys want to race? Like whether it's swimming, running, anything, Mike wants to compete. So of course, naturally, I challenged Mike to a swim off. How many laps can you do under the water without going for breath? And I got 10, and right now Mike's at 4, and he's gonna try again. And he seems to think he can beat me, and he's all serious over there, getting all psyched up. But I don't think he's gonna beat me, so I guess we'll see how he does. Hey, 6. 10.
Do you want to admire my nice vlog setup?
Look at that tiny little lens, bro. I like how you're not compensating for anything.
Of course.
Clearly.
No, it's the perfect setup, so light.
That way, all serious. Yeah, that way.
So unfortunately, I didn't shoot a whole lot more video for the rest of the trip in Sumba for a few reasons. Number one, there was like 2 motorbikes for our entire village, and it was hard to coordinate that to go places. It was also raining a lot, so we couldn't do much in the rain. And lastly, we were in chill mode. Sumba is a pretty remote island, and it's much different from Bali, where there's a lot happening. You know, there's traffic, there's a lot of tourists here, everything's always pumping. So when we got to Sumba, we were definitely in chill mode, and we just hung out by the beach, swam, worked a little bit, and it was really nice to just get away. So I will put some of the drone footage and some of the other footage that I got on that trip over this talking head bit. But with that said, I do want to kind of sum up my thoughts on the A7IV, talk about my experience with it, and who I think this camera is for. So first and foremost, just getting out of the way, I think the A7IV is an amazing camera, especially for hybrid shooters. 33 megapixels is more than enough for photos. 4K 60p is more than enough for beautiful cinematic videos. And coming from an A7III, this is a massive, massive upgrade. And for $2,500, I think the A7IV is one of the best cameras that you can buy right now, and will probably remain so for the next few years. Yes, there are better hybrid cameras on the market like the Sony A1, but that's a $6,500 camera for a few upgrades. You know, yes, you get 50 megapixels. Yes, you get 4K 120 uncropped in 8K 30, whoever's going to use that. And faster shooting, a better EVF, all that stuff. But that's definitely not worth a $4,000 premium in my personal opinion. I think the A7IV is perfect for photographers. Even if you don't plan to shoot video, this is an amazing photography camera. It's also an amazing video camera. If you don't plan to shoot photos, you can just use this to shoot video. But where I think this camera really stands out is hybrid shooters like myself. People that want to capture great photos, people that want to capture great videos, whether it's for vlogging or cinematic video. This camera can truly do it all, and I really can't say anything bad about it. Now, some of the gripes that people have about this camera is they say the 4K 60p is cropped, and it is. It's cropped by 1.5 times, but I personally don't find that to be an issue at all, especially when I'm shooting with zoom lenses. I'll just zoom out a little bit to account for the crop. And plus, when I'm shooting in 60p anyways for that slow motion cinematic look, I want to have a more compressed image, so I don't mind the extra focal length on the end of that crop. People also say the EVF isn't great, and sure, maybe it's not that great, but it is miles ahead of the A7 III, so it was really nice to have that. Yes, it's not as good as the A7S III that I have, but generally speaking, I think the viewfinder is totally fine. I am so excited to use this camera more. This camera allows me to only take one body on my trips instead of taking my A7S III and my A7 III, one for photo, one for video. Now I can do everything on one body, and I think the more I get the hang of this camera, the more and more I'm gonna fall in love with it. So I hope this video will help you guys make a good decision about picking up this camera or not. And I also hope it was a bit entertaining as well, because it was fun going out there and shooting some vlog style stuff. That is something I want to do more of in the future. But that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next week.